again, everyone. Marco here. Welcome back to the VeADIR Financial Machine beta test videos. Today is March 4th, 2018, and in today's video, we're going to test out a couple new functions. We're going to close an exposure early, which was a new feature recently added in the current version of the beta. Along with another feature, taking delivery of the assets. And so let's get started. Here we have the portfolio screen of the VeADIR platform. Again, unless you click the Don't Show, wants to give us some information about the beta. I have read this, so we'll continue. You'll see currently there are 9 different assets within the portfolio. The VeADIR has, over the last few days, been purchasing assets. You'll see still at it over here, currently buying 10 tokens. So the VeADIR is indeed acting on the research that Reggie's team has fed to it, including the expansion up to the potential of 20 assets the VeADIR has access to purchase now. Depending on the current conditions, it may or may not purchase each of those assets. So let's get in here. I've previously opened a couple exposures. You'll see here these are 99-year exposures. So I'm going to go ahead and select this bottom one here. It's the newest of the two. And you'll see the information over here. It was open March 3rd. If it's not closed, it would duration would end on Feb 7th, 2117, 99 years from yesterday. Currently down approximately 10%, a little over, and 0.003% towards the 99-year progress. If I click the stats here in the middle, we'll see the ETH USD price is down just slightly. And the value of the exposure is down, as I said before, about 10%. We'll see that this exposure was opened 22 hours ago and collected shortly thereafter. So in order to close an exposure early, it's fairly simple. Although this is the first time I've done this, doing it live without a test, so we'll see how this goes. You click the 3 buttons and say close exposure. It's giving us a sort of a final "Are you sure?" screen. You are in control of exposed funds for the whole exposure duration. At any time you can initiate the closing procedure, which is what we're doing now. This action will order the VeADIR to start selling the assets in the exposure, or alternatively deliver said assets if you have chosen the take delivery option, which is what I intend to do. Selling the assets usually takes up to 24 hours, and during this time the exposure will be in closing state. Once assets are sold, you'll be able to settle the exposure, which is the normal process. And this is the important part. Note, this action cannot be reverted, and VeADIR tokens will not be returned. So the 0.17 VeADIR tokens, which when I opened this exposure yesterday was 5% of the value of 1 Ethereum, which was the value of as I opened the exposure yesterday. So I'm going to say I understand and wish to proceed. And we are going to get MetaMask confirmation. Gas price at 3 for purposes of the video, I'm going to kick that up to 4, although I know 3 would be just fine normally. We want this to hustle along a little quicker. So you see the normal transaction created pop up at the bottom, and now we see initiating closure over here in the status tab. So I'm going to pause the video now while we wait for the initiating closure function to complete to the next step. Okay, we see the closure has been initiated. Contract is now in closing status. I am not seeing an option to take delivery, so it is possible that step may come next, or it's also possible that that function has not yet been implemented. So I'm going to go ahead and pause again for a few minutes and investigate further. Okay, so closure has been initiated by the VeADIR 5 minutes ago. We see the exposure is now in closing status. There's really nothing more I can do on this particular exposure now until the VeADIR completes its work. Just one other quick stop right here. When I go to the informational tab, you see now the period where it was March 3rd through Feb 7th, 2117. That's been crossed out, and now the period has been defined as March 3rd, 2018 through March 4th, 2018, which corresponds to the 2-day period I had the exposure open. So I will incur a loss on this particular exposure, minus 10.594% in terms of Ethereum, minus 10.77 something percent in terms of USD. So that's it for this video. Short and not quite as sweet as I wanted. I will post an updated video when we get further information and clarity on the take delivery feature. That's it for now. Thanks all folks. Have a good day. Bye-bye.